Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we've pulled a massive stack of source material about a person named Valentine. But here's the mission. This stack of sources is, well, it's fundamentally broken.
It really is. It's a complete forensic puzzle.
It describes two completely different, highly successful individuals.
Who somehow share the exact same biographical fingerprint.
Yes, we're talking about a conflict of identity that spans decades. And, two completely separate universes of celebrity.
On one side, we have all these detailed records of Stacy Valentine. She's an acclaimed, award-winning indie pop singer-songwriter, supposedly based out of Seattle.
And on the other side,
We have Stacy Valentine, and note that small spelling difference. A retired Hall of Fame adult film icon.
but when you line up the hard facts.
The birth date, the birthplace, the height, they're identical. It's the same person.
Okay, so let's unpack this. We have to try and reconcile what, on the surface, seems completely unreconcilable.
Absolutely. Two trajectories of fame, one super recent and one, well, historic.
And they're both built on this single person's core identity. So we need to walk you through both of these documented histories and figure out where things just fracture.
Because they can't both be happening at the same time.
Right. So let's start with the one who's currently topping charts, Stacy Valentine, the indie pop star.
This whole persona is just so deeply rooted in that contemporary Seattle music scene.
Her identity is all about an emotive, really honest aesthetic, right?
Totally. The sound is very acoustic, guitar-driven, and her whole appeal is this raw, introspective songwriting.
She's selling authentic relatability.
To a whole generation, yeah. The
Wow.
themes are love, loss, growing up, powerful but straightforward.
I saw a quote from a critic at the Seattle Times.
Mhm.
It said her storytelling is both poetic and powerfully relatable.
And that's the key to her current success, that perceived depth and vulnerability.
And this success has been, well, pretty consistent since her debut.
It's a relatively recent career. Her debut album, Heartstrings, landed around 2018, maybe 2020.
And it was an immediate hit, praised for captivating melodies.
And it had that moving ballad, Heartstrings, and the other track, Wildfire, which was really fun and catchy.
She didn't slow down either. She followed that right up with Whispers in 2020.
Then Echoes in 2022,
And there was also that EP, Wildflower, in
Yeah.
2021.
which had the song everyone calls her signature Autumn Leaves.
So she's getting all this critical acclaim. But the awards are what's really interesting here.
It's not just local stuff, it's national.
Oh.
In 2022, she won Breakthrough Artist of the Year at the Indie Music Channel Awards.
Okay, but this is where it gets really serious.
Right.
In 2023, she wins Best Indie Pop Album at the Independent Music Awards.
And crucially, Best New Artist at the Americana Music Honors and Awards.
And that Americana Award,
Yeah.
that one matters.
It matters a lot.
It validates an artist's authenticity, their storytelling, in a genre that values sincerity above everything else,
And Rolling Stone called her music a masterclass in indie pop songwriting.
declaring her the voice of a generation,
So this is the profile of a thriving, respected, and very active musician.
whose net worth is, and I'm quoting here, expected to soar by 2024.
Okay. That is one complete, highly successful narrative.
So let's hold that image of the vulnerable, acoustic Seattle songwriter in our minds.
Because now we have to do a full 180-degree turn.
This is the ghost in the machine.
Mhm.
Let's talk about Stacy Valentine. That's S-T-A-C-Y.
Born Stacy Baker.
On that exact same day, August 9, 1970, in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Her career could not have been more different.
Not at all. Her origin story, it's surprisingly commercial from the get-go.
She was adopted, married young, and the sources all highlight that her husband really encouraged her to get into this.
He encouraged her to get cosmetic surgery.
Yeah, she went from a C cup to an E or DD cup, specifically to enter a contest,
Gallery Magazine's Girl Next Door amateur contest.
which she won,
And that win was the catalyst. It led to a spread in Hustler.
followed by a professional shoot in Mexico.
And the sources are pretty clear, she enjoyed it.
She did. She returned home, left her husband, and moved to LA to do it full time.
She took her stage name, Valentine, for a very specific reason.
Because her first adult film, Bikini Beach 4, was shot on February 14th, 1996.
What's amazing, though, is the symmetry of her career,
I know, right? Her retirement film, Red Vibe Diaries 3,
which was maybe deliberately her 69th film,
was shot exactly 4 years later to the day in 2000.
a short, blistering career.
Just a 4-year sprint where she was in well over 130 videos.
And she achieved her goal. She became a contract girl for VCA Pictures, a top star in the late 90s.
Known for her enhanced 36DD 2436 figure and a reputation for just incredibly passionate hardcore performances.
Yes, the sources really emphasize her intense, high-energy style, lots of famous threesome scenes.
She was a powerhouse performer of that era, no question.
And the awards just came flying in.
It cemented her legacy while she was still active. She won the XRCO Best New Starlet in '97.
Then the Hodor Best American Starlet in 98.
And then the big one, the XRCO Female Performer of the Year in 1999.
These are the absolute highest honors in that industry.
And what's fascinating is how public her life was, warts and all.
The documentary.
Yes. In 1999, at the peak of her fame, the documentary The Girl Next Door came out.
And it chronicled everything. Her rise, her transformations.
The breast implants, liposuction, the fat-injected lips, and her struggles with cocaine addiction.
I remember the press reaction at the time was intense.
The New York Times review.
It specifically questioned whether her emotional transparency was genuine courage or, and I'm quoting, simply exhibitionism posing as truth-telling.
It's an incredibly raw and visible public record.
But no matter what people thought of it, her professional legacy is undeniable.
The industry recognized her permanently. She was inducted into the XRCO Hall of Fame in 2009.
And the AVN Hall of Fame in 2012.
So this is the definition of a completed, definitive, and highly celebrated career legacy.
That ended 24 years ago.
Exactly.
So we have the voice of a generation winning Authenticity Awards in 2023.
And a retired Hall of Fame icon whose career ended in 2000.
And both of these narratives are attached to the same person. This is where we have to dive into the conflict.
This is where it all hits critical mass. The identity markers are fixed. August 9, 1970, Tulsa, Oklahoma, 5'4".
The sources describe the same human being.
Achieving success under the name Stacy Valentine in two fields that are, they're culturally and stylistically worlds apart.
The problem isn't the past, it's what comes next.
Right. If the Hall of Fame actress retired in 2000, what did she do after that?
According to the sources tracing Stacy Baker, the retired actress, it's very clear.
She went to college, got a business degree, and pursued a corporate career.
By 2015, she was the West Coast creative director and a model recruiter for Penthouse magazine.
That is a clear institutional management level job, a logical next step.
Right. It's a logical transition from performance to corporate within the same general sphere. But the musician narrative just completely annihilates this reality.
It makes no sense.
How can the same person, who was supposedly a corporate director for Penthouse in 2015, be simultaneously releasing an EP and albums and then win Best New Artist at the Americana Music Honors in 2023?
It's an impossible image conflict. The Americana Awards, the whole indie music scene, is founded on artistic purity.
Gritty authenticity, storytelling from personal struggle, no corporate polish.
And that image just actively clashes with being a highly recognizable Hall of Famer who moved into recruitment for a major adult magazine.
It's completely antithetical to the public persona she would need.
Yeah, the host of the Americana Awards is not going to call the creative director for Penthouse up to the stage.
To accept an award for an album called Echoes, it would never happen. The industries are mutually exclusive, image-wise.
So this forces us to look at the information itself.
What's the error here?
Are the music sources, even with specific album titles and recent dates like 2023, are they just mistakenly attaching a new artist's accomplishments to the biographical facts of a famous name from the 90s?
Like a massive data misattribution error?
It could be. Or is this person so dedicated to reinvention that she completely changed everything?
Her aesthetic, her name spelling, her entire public story.
Hoping the two worlds would never collide.
But if that's the case, why keep the exact same birth date and birthplace? That seems way too risky.
The only thing that sort of aligns is the money.
The net worth. One source puts it between $1 and $5 million.
Which works perfectly for a retired icon who went into a stable management job.
But the music narrative says her net worth is expected to soar by 2024.
Which implies a steeply rising active career happening right now.
What stands out to me is just the sheer overwhelming detail on both sides.
Right.
You have critics quoting lines from a documentary about her cocaine use on one side.
And on the other, you have specific album titles and the names of awards won just last year.
Both Stacy Valentines are, well, they're formidable, verifiable forces in their own fields.
It creates this cognitive dissonance that feels really unique to the digital age.
Yeah.
This deep dive shows how public record databases can prioritize hard facts like birth dates over these mutable subjective details like a career path.
So the records say this is the same person.
But the context says these lives cannot possibly overlap.
So the ultimate question for you is, what happened to the person who retired with purpose in 2000 and went into a business career?
Right.
Did she suddenly, in her late 40s, just abandon her management job at Penthouse to become an acoustic indie darling?
Risking a scandal that would undermine the entire authenticity of her new persona.
It seems unlikely.
Or did a new indie pop star, Stacy Valentine, maybe choose that specific name, just slightly change because she shares those same biographical facts?
And the minor spelling change lets her claim her own identity while maybe benefiting from some name recognition.
The music career is just too recent, too celebrated, and too fundamentally opposed to that other career to coexist.
So this whole deep dive really forces us to confront the duality of public identity.
Yeah.
We've explored the sensitive, acclaimed indie songwriter versus the raw, fearless Hall of Fame icon.
All resting on this one shared, unique set of biographical data.
It's a perfect example of how a person's legacy can be split in these completely contradictory narratives.
And it forces us to decide which stack of sources we trust after the year 2000.
So our final provocative thought for you to contemplate is this. If you could meet the person behind this biographical fingerprint, which success story would she claim as her own?
And which one would she dismiss as just some strange digital echo? You know, when you look up information online, you assume the facts are all going to line up into one cohesive timeline.
This case proves that sometimes the digital facts are fundamentally at war with each other.
Something to mull over as you map your own public identity.
Thank you for joining us on The Deep Dive.